everyone? We're here with two MMA legends, Punk Ass and Scrape. And if you don't know these guys, they founded Tap Out. So originally they just went around basically from UFC event to UFC event, kind of selling their clothes out of the back of their van and then sponsoring UFC fighters. And they've taken that and developed it into a successful multi-million-dollar enterprise. So it's cool to be able to talk to you guys for a couple minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So when you guys started, did you have any like business background or long-term business plans, or was it just following your passion day to day?
No, I think, we didn't know we could fail is honestly what happened was I think we thought we were just going to give 150% and we were going to go in there and, you know, put our best foot forward and we were going to turn out the next day and make $1 million, and that's not what happened. And it turned out to be a long journey, and but we loved every second of it. And we just thought that if we kept pushing forward and we kept doing our best and we kept, you know, the guerrilla marketing plan that we had going, that we were going to make it. And we just didn't know that you could fail if you gave it your best. And now we look back thinking, you know, reading the statistics, and people come up to us and said, and you know, people in 2 lifetimes couldn't create a business like this.
Definitely.
And we were just passionate about what we loved and what we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And like you said, we were too dumb to know better. We just loved what we were doing.
So is that kind of the secret to your success? Because there's been a lot of, I wouldn't say similar, but you know,
No,
small
there's big
startups.
secrets. We just won't give them.
Fair
Can't
enough.
give the big stuff.
Yeah.
We'll save that for the book.
No, true, because there have been a few things that separated you guys from your competitors. Not too many people have accomplished what you have. So
There were some things we did. Obviously, I mean, a lot of it was on purpose. It was all calculated.
Right.
But there was a lot more to it. But we were just passionate about what we were doing. We loved the sport. We loved Tap Out was what we were pushing to push the sport. And people, you know, you say people look at it, say it's an overnight success. When the Ultimate Fighter hit, they said, "Oh man, you guys overnight just blew up," not knowing we had been already 7-8 years already, and you know, living out of trunks of cars and, you know, just that type of stuff. So
sure,
it was a long road, but people look at it like it was overnight success.
So what advice would you have for young entrepreneurs kind of looking to follow in a similar path? Not necessarily in MMA, just sort of looking to grow their own company from the ground up.
Well, we do. We talk to kids, high school kids now, and we just always tell them, follow your passion, do it. You know, we don't let outside influences distract you from something you love. You know, because there were people along the way, Charles, Punk Ass, and myself, that could have always that were saying, you know, the sport was nothing really. It was kind of a dead, dying sport until I'd say 2000. Well, the Ultimate Fighter 2005, but until that point, people were telling us, man, go do something else. What is Tap Out? Why are you sponsoring UFC? It's not even a sport. You know, all that stuff. So easily could have distracted us and taken us elsewhere. But we all three stuck together, and we had a vision and dream within ourselves and stuck with it. So we just try to tell people, follow your own dreams and don't listen to other people, because people are going to tell you otherwise, because it's not their dream, you know.
It's got to be it's got to be something that you're passionate about, because there are going to be some hard times you're going to come against, and if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're going to give up. You're just not going to get up in the morning. You're not, because it's way too hard. People don't. It ain't easy. I'm just telling you, it ain't easy.
There'll be a lot harder times than there are good times.
And you got to forge through those. And the only way to do that is to love what you're doing. And if you love what you're doing and it doesn't feel like work, you just keep doing it because you love it. And you would do it whether you got paid for it or not. We knew. We said, hey, look, if this sport doesn't make it, I mean, we're in 1997. It was basically only legal in like 3 states in the United States.
For just a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, it was illegal everywhere.
And we lived in California, and it wasn't legal.
It wasn't legal in our own state. It wasn't legal in Vegas, the fighting capital of the world. And we just believed that, hey, this sport is the best sport in the world. And so you got to have a good foundation. You can't bet on a bad foundation. You know, you'll wipe out. And so we had a good foundation. We believed that the sport was going to be big because we just loved it. We knew everybody we introduced to the sport loved it. As soon as hey man, come try it out, come check it out, come train. And they'd come train and be like instant addicts.
Yeah.
And so we knew that would translate to business. And
yeah, that's what happened to me. Honestly, someone introduced me to it, and I was hooked. Like,
exactly,
I agree with you.
Right?
Best sport in the world, bar
none. And everybody that we introduced to it became instant fans, and we knew those fans would be customers.
Yeah.
And so we just said, hey, even if this doesn't make it, we love being here. We're going to love everything that we're doing. But if it does make it, hey, how big can it be? And we just knew that there was no limit on it. It could be the biggest sport in the world because the sport translated worldwide. It wasn't like American football where people had so many rules and people don't understand it.
Everyone
you got a
understands
sport,
fighting,
you put two guys in a cage with gloves on, people figure it out. And we just knew that would translate to business, and that's what it did.
So just a couple more questions. I know a big part of your business is sponsoring local up-and-coming guys that maybe aren't getting a lot of attention. Are you strictly looking for skill and athletic ability, or is there something outside of the cage that you look for in a person that you're going to sponsor?
Heart. I mean, a lot of it's heart because you can't teach heart. And you can see heart, though, when people are fighting. When they get in the cage, it's one thing. They're sparring, they're hitting the bag. That's one thing. They get in there and they start fighting. You can tell who's got heart and who doesn't.
You see like on Ultimate Fighter guys, I got the most heart in here, I'm never going to quit. And then they start getting choked and they tap.
Right.
Okay, your heart, you quit. You didn't know you're not breaking your arm. Yeah, you choke them.
Yeah, but you got to tap at some point. They didn't choke.
Especially with limbs.
Not if you just give up.
No, I hate when you see guys
giving up.
When you see guys like cardio is running out and they're like,
it's
like, hey man, I've had enough. Like, hey man, come on. You didn't train right or whatever. It's like, hey, the other guy, you don't think the other guy's not tired? I mean, cardio is bad. It will make bring out the worst in you. But yeah, I mean, you can't teach hard to these guys. It's you either they feel like they can cater to it, but I mean, you've gotta. If these guys don't have heart, man, they're just not gonna go. They're not gonna be the best in the world. They're not not. You see the guys that are the best in the world. It's because they believe that they can't fail. They don't believe in failure. It's the way they train. It's in their head.
And you can see that like early on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, the mental game is 80% of the fight.
Right.
You see the guys that lose before they even get in the cage. You see them walking in going, that guy ain't even. You know what is the craziest thing? When you saw Chris Weidman walk in to fight Anderson Silva, I was like, that guy looks pretty freaking confident, even though I seemingly thought the guy's got zero chance of winning this fight.
A lot of people
it's like he's not going to win this. I mean, he was not unknown.
Everybody,
he'd seen some great fights.
Let alone by
it's
knockout.
Anderson Silva, the guy who they thought was the best fighter in the world, who's seemingly unbeatable. And you're like, man, Chris looks pretty confident walking in there. Dude, Chris didn't think he could lose. He's like, I know Anderson Silva, but I can't lose. I'm not going to lose tonight. And that's what happened. He just refused to lose. And that's kind of the mentality you have to have. And even for up-and-coming fighters, Chris was an up-and-coming fighter at one time. Anderson Silva was an up-and-coming fighter at one time. He was like that. You'd watch his early fights. We were watching him fight in Brazil before anybody knew him. And we were watching him on video. I was watching him on video going, one day. We sponsored Anderson. I mean, I knew that guy was going to be tough. Because I was watching Pele Landis back in that time, and I'm thinking, this is the new Pele.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he was killing people, and I was like, man, this guy's exciting to watch. And now look at where he was. And then you're going to have the next guy who, once he starts to get comfortable, and that's what happened to he started to get comfortable and started to be like, oh man, there's no new challenges for him. And then the next guy came in to unseat him, and that's life, and you can't get comfortable. That's how we are. Try to be uncomfortable. That's why we go out and do what we do. We don't sit in our house. Go out and do what we do every day because you can't be comfortable.
So one last question, I'll let you guys go. Give me a quick prediction for tonight, Jones and Gustafsson, and then just sorry, I know I asked you this already off camera, but you made some good points, so I'm going to ask you again.
Yeah.
So and then anything you want to say to your fans?
First, I'll take the underdog. I'm gonna take Gustafsson.
Cool.
Really?
Yeah.
How? Gotta be
I think
strikes.
maybe ref stoppage or decision. I don't know.
Cool.
It's gonna be hard to beat John Jones by decision, but
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, by decision?
I'm just gonna go on. Take the underdog.
I'll say John Jones for sure.
Hey, everyone was taking Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
And Weidman beat him.
Hey,
That's true. That's
Here
the
we
thing
go.
of this sport.
Yeah,
You're never
you
right.
got to pick the right bet. It's a bet.
Yeah,
You're betting
I
if
know.
you're putting your money
Well,
down.
I'm not putting money
John
on it, so I'm
Jones.
gonna take.
Well, we're definitely betting on this afterwards.
Well, if we're putting money on it, I'm gonna take John.
You can't do that. You can't take that back.
Okay, then no bet.
What are the odds at right now? It's got to be pretty even. I'm sure.
No,
I'm sure
it was.
Gustafsson's the underdog.
Yeah, I don't know, Mark.
Oh, whatever. Well, anyways, good luck with your company, guys. Thanks a lot for
And
the
thanks to all
interview.
the fans. You say something to fans, but we appreciate all the love we get over the years and continued support. So thank you guys.
You go out there and find your passion. If you want to start your own business or do whatever you're doing, man, whatever it is, find your passion and chase that, man, because you can't get that time back. The only thing you're going to regret is
Not doing it.
Not doing it, for sure.